is January 22nd, 2022, and I'm starting to see a lot of things shift, not only in crypto, but in the world. Last night, there was a live stream between Cathie Wood of ARK Invest, Jack Dorsey, and also Elon Musk. They're all talking about Bitcoin. I text somebody, too little, too late. Looks like Bitcoin's dumping off right now. We're going to go into that in a second, but that plays into the theme of the video today. So this is a simple chart to explain institutions are stuck in late, flood of liquidity coming into digital asset ecosystem in search of yield and return, because why? Interest rates are sky high and people don't want to keep their money in the dollar, but right now the market sucks, so they're trying to find a place to go. And this just kind of puts things into a macro perspective for you. So the fiat world devalues. All right, so traditional portfolios are mainly in stocks and some bonds. We all know that bonds don't give good yields and stocks are 10%, and crypto for the last 10 years has been destroying that. But now the millennial portfolios, they do have a lot of stocks, but you can see that instead of bonds and what everybody in the traditional market is looking at right now, a lot of it is coming into Bitcoin for the younger people, essentially. So I thought that was very telling in itself. And I wanted to start off with that. All right, so let's move into the actual market. And we got market rebellion here. You can see that Bitcoin's so far down. I can't see on the chart here. Oh, sorry, that's Ethereum, but same for Bitcoin there. But what I've been hearing from Crown and also crypto stackers who love crypto stackers is more about trend lines and also leverage pressure margins. So a lot of the crypto market is leveraged, and that ties into what Crown says about it was at 13 billion open interest, which is the amount of people that are leveraged one way or the other. On every trade, there's one person on each side. So the point is that there's a lot of open interest, or was. Now, after this happened, it's below the margin, the open interest margin level, where it essentially wrecks the market. If it ever gets above 13 billion, then that's when the market corrects. So not only do we have that happening, but we have the catalyst of that, which is the Fed coming out, being hawkish, saying we're going to open interest rates. And when you open interest rates or you increase interest rates, the zombie companies out there that were propped up already in the markets, they can no longer, once they start raising interest rates, those zombie companies can no longer make their payments. And what happens? They default on their loans, and then you see more of a market crash. So with that happening, and the fact that Bitcoin is currently tied into the traditional markets, because we have so many, what they call them, family offices and investment companies that are putting money into this market. Well, the old mentality is putting pressure on Bitcoin. Now, I believe this is a good thing, and it doesn't look like that right now, but as I've said many times before, I've been in this 2 years and I've seen a lot of ups, a lot of downs. This is the first time ever I've seen so much bullish news, and the news itself would move the market in crypto. It's no longer doing that. So things are changing, things are shifting, and the fact that Cathie Wood, Elon Musk, and Jack Dorsey, three of the most influential people, not just in the world, but in the financial markets, or vice versa, that they come out last night and talk on a live stream about how good Bitcoin is. That's to sum it up. And unfortunately, I can't go back and find it, but I saw it last night. I thought it was the oddest thing, and I thought to myself, too little, too late. You guys should have done this when the market was trending down, and you had an opportunity at these leverage levels that Crypto Stackers talks about to push it forward, and that was at 40. We had a lot of support at 40K, and now they're deciding to do it. Now, we did get to this 34K region where there was a gap in the CME. So CME is different from the spot where you can just buy it. And for whatever reason in traditional markets, and it seems to be playing out in Bitcoin as well, when you have a gap where since there are different time levels, there's just a space in between the bars. When there's a gap, for whatever reason, they think that it needs to be filled. So it needs to come back to that gap and then bounce up. Now, there's a gap at, I believe it's 35. But when I look at the charts, and it depends on which chart you're looking at, it looks like it's already hit that gap. But here's the other thing. There's another gap down at 20K. So there's a possibility of it going lower. So I want to run through with you guys some of the news, but also my plan of attack, because I'm looking at this as an opportunity, and with information that I've been taking on and ingesting, basically, I kind of saw this coming, and whether it came or not, I decided to de-risk and take money out, liquidate, so that I have even more dollars on the side to make a precision decision. Did not mean to say it like that, but so let's go into the news, and let's take a look at. All right, so that's a Bitcoin chart. You can see currently we're at 34.7, but you can see how it wicked all the way down here to 33.9. Now, I can't tell you whether that is the exact spot where that gap was, but a lot of people would say, well, that's close enough. We came back, we hit it. Now, you could possibly think about it turning around, but we don't know that. What I do know is that most of the altcoins that I was in were down 20% from yesterday, and Bitcoin's down 10%. Now, when it comes to the people that were all the way up here at 68, and they said, oh, that's the top, I'm going to leverage short and I'm going to go down. Well, they're going to be in profit here. And this is what they call a margin pressure level, which means that the people that were already planning on shorting it and saying it's going to go down, well, they're going to start taking profits. And some of those leverage positions, they're going to go away, basically. And you could see it go the opposite direction. Now, that being said, if the overall consensus is that the Fed is going to increase interest rates, then people could sell off even more, which would bring any of the longs, like if they turned it around and leveraged long here and decide that they want to go up instead, well, they can get liquidated and it could pressure down more. So what I'm watching for over the next 5 days, because we have today, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday, the Fed talks. So over the next 5 days, I'm going to watch and see which way this goes. And we could pop up and get a bounce. That does not mean reversal. Reversal per crown means up here at this 46 level. So about 44.5, but to play it safe, up here at 46, where you can see a lot of a bounce off of exactly where you see all these wicks at here, 45.4. But the point is that it's the region, it's the area. If I see it above that at 46 and we close on a daily, then I know that we're going to be reversing and moving back up in a trend direction, which is where I'm going to start putting in leverage positions. But currently what I'm doing is I liquidate a lot of my positions and I'm waiting for it to go down. I've already bought back in because, like I said, I'm down 20%. And I'm fine with going back in with some of my capital at this point because I don't want to miss it on the way up. And even if it goes down, I know in the long term, there's too much good news. There's too much bullish news for this to go all the way down to zero. Okay. Unless, of course, you have a black swan event and, this Russia and Ukraine, I think it is, that thing plays out and they decide to actually take action and a war starts. Okay. That's a black swan event. And that's something that I'll obviously be watching as well. But information is knowledge. Knowledge is power, and you need power in this crypto space. Otherwise, you're just going to get beat up and thrown around. So this is Token Metrics, and right now we have AstroSwap, Binance Coin, which I'm going to talk about. Wonderland, really, and Solana. They're trending for some reason. Interesting. But I'm going to go over the top 5 here in the Token Metrics Index. You have SpearX, never heard of it. Kyber Network, while it's coming back. API 3, Elastos, and PlotX. Okay, so these are all interesting. I thought they didn't put small market caps here. Let me see if I can filter that out. Okay, all right. So they have them all in there. But these are the highest ratings. Anything over 70 is good. But take a look at how many are over 90 and 80 still. All right, so that's just basically. I heard Bill Noble say it can be a market of crypto instead of a crypto market, and going into a service like this helps you make better decisions. And that's why I look at all these YouTube videos. I take a look at all the people that I trust, that I think are smart and down to earth. And then I try to utilize this type of thing, these type of services, so that I can make the most informed, the best decision. All right, so this on the daily. Again, Elastos is popping up. I'm going to have to look at that because it looks really well. API 3, that's like a link, a chain link. It provides services and information. Cosmos, got to get back into that. Axia Coin has been there for weeks. So that is metaverse play. It's probably getting beat up right now, but looks pretty well. But I got to say, I looked at this earlier and it was like Pax Gold, stable coin. So for whatever reason, the AI, the artificial intelligence here, is saying that it looks like the market might turn around. So that's just a note that I'm taking. I'm not going to say that that's exactly going to happen. But we go to a weekly. You have near protocol, MXC, Axia coin still. Chainlink's up there because that's all the way down to like $17, and that's it. By the way, that's a very crucial point for it. So if it starts going back up, that's good for that. And then you have Harmony. And by the way, you can look at all these exchanges. I just like KuCoin because I think they're cutting edge. I think they get a lot of small cap coins, and I think well, you look at the percentage here for the indices, it's better than almost all these other ones. So the indices performance up here is 310% compared to everything else. Crypto.com is pretty good too, though, I gotta say. All right, moving on from there, let's go right into the news. I want to run right through this because I'm going to show you exactly what I did and the kind of stuff that you can be looking for out there to try and make money in a time like this. All right, so you have the market wrap, cryptocurrencies tumble as global investors reduce risk. That's exactly what I was talking about. So you have people in the traditional finance world more over here, and that's what they do. They play these games. And there's something else I want to address right now. It's not just people. All right. There's a reason why all these people that are really good at technical analysis are calling shots, that they're calling um, where they think it's going to go. And it goes there because bots are trading now. If this, then that is happening. And obviously, these smart people, these quant firms that are using the bots and they're buying and selling, well, they're looking at margin pressure levels. They're looking at the amount of open interest in there that can really bring the market down. They're looking at the Twitter sentiment, the fear and greed index, and it's computer making the trades based of all this information. Don't think that it's not out there. It is, and it's not just people. Okay, yeah, you have retail like you and I that are trying to make decisions on our own, but people are smart enough to be able to put all these things in there and have something else make the trades for them, and on leverage as well. So understand that is, I think that's why technical analysis is working so well right now for the crypto market. All right, so crypto trader Tandra to liquidate after GBTC discount widens to record. All right, so that's not good news. Solana could become the Visa of digital asset world. Bank of America. So Bank of America came out and said that Solana, I don't know why they're endorsing them. I'm sure there's some connection because Bank of America doesn't do anything that's except for themselves. And they're saying they can be the Visa of digital asset world. And I'm thinking that's because they have so many transactions per second. And mind you, Solana is still in beta. It's not even full-fledged, ready to rock yet. Yet people are acting as if it's like Ethereum, which is not in beta version. There's still a lot of kinks to be worked out there. All right, so let's see down here. Bitcoin dips below 40K during broader Asian market sell-off. So what happened basically is we went down last night, but then as essentially America slept, and you see this a lot, or you used to see this a lot before China banned crypto, the Asian market sold off. And then I don't know exactly what the strategy is there, but I think maybe over here, maybe we're a little more optimistic. We see it go down, we want to buy in, and then where we're sleeping, the selling, and vice versa. But anyway, it's just something to notice and see that it's out there. And then Bank of Russia calls for full ban on crypto. Now, mind you, this is FUD. All right. Someone was saying that Russia is the new China. China has banned crypto about 15 times. And who cares, really? They haven't moved on anything yet. It's a statement and nothing's actually happened yet. But anyway, the point is that the Bank of Russia said, oh, you should ban it. Okay. Well, they're saying that it can be detrimental to their specific monetary system is a point there. All right, so let's see. Twitter seeks senior crypto role on heels of NFT verification announcement. So I'm not sure if you heard this, but yeah, Twitter is they're verifying NFTs, and that's easy to do through the blockchain. Okay, if you have the address and you own it, well then it's verified. It's very easy to check that because on blockchain everything is apparent. It's right there. So right now that they are looking for someone to help head that up. SEC objects to MicroStrategy's accounting adjustment for its Bitcoin holdings. Cryptos R Us, George over there was saying that he thinks that part of the reason that we did have that crash last night is the SEC came out and made a statement saying that MicroStrategy cannot say that they had made this much because they have not sold their Bitcoin yet. And that's an accounting issue. This is semantics here that they're talking about. You can't say that you've made money until you've actually bought or sold, and they have not sold, and that is actually a good thing because they have a lot of Bitcoin. But the point is that the SEC came out and said that, and I don't know why they're doing these things because it's not good for the market overall. But that's just one reason that there could have been a dip there. All right, so let's see. This is all I wanted to talk about here. Yeah, that's it. All right, so we'll move on to coin market cap. There's only a couple things that I want to talk about here. Tether has recovered 87 million in USDT sent to wrong addresses since its launch. Now, this is one of the things that people they say it's good and it's bad, but USDT is essentially centralized. They're kind of like a bank, and that is a problem because it's a central point of failure. We want decentralized. We want like Ethereum, and the fact that they are centralized means that they can go and do stuff like that, which is a good thing. Um, anyway, so we'll move on. Don't care about that one. All right, BlackRock files for ETF to track performance of blockchain and crypto company focused index. So not only are they talking about creating an ETF for cryptos, but also crypto companies. Now, the simple fact that BlackRock is one of the biggest investment firms in the world, if not the, they may be biggest. Please comment below if you know that. But the fact that they are trying to create an ETF and getting into this space, again, bullish news. And none of this news is. I didn't even see this one. This was yesterday, and I've watched about 15 videos since yesterday, and I haven't seen anybody talk about this. And even if the news came out, this is not changing the market. So again, my point is that news used to change the market. Now it is just out there, and people are numb to it because there is so much good news. But what does that tell you? That means that it's not going away. So yes, the market sucks right now, but isn't this a good time when, uh, what's the phrase? When blood is in the streets in the market, you still buy, even if the blood is yours. So if you have that money on the side, and this is the best time to buy. Um, you want to buy when others are greedy. I'm sorry, sell when others are greedy and buy when others are fearful. And the fear and greed index is at like 15 right now. It's probably going to be in single digits by tomorrow. Not financial advice, just saying. All right, so Fed Chair Powell doubles down on continued survival of private stablecoins as long as they are being regulated. Now, this is good news. So he reconfirmed his belief that a digital dollar should not drive private stablecoins out of the market. This is good. He's helping support the market by saying that just because they're looking at a stablecoin for the country, like a federal stablecoin, it doesn't mean that they should say everything else is banned. And this, again, good news. Is it helping right now? No. And does that make sense to you? You have to ask yourself that question. All right, Citi kickstarts recruitment for top job in digital assets unit. All right, Citibank, one of the biggest banks in America. Now they're getting into it and they're hiring people specifically in the state. This is all good news. I don't understand this one, to be honest with you, but Elon Musk dunks on Twitter's integration with NFTs. Is that bad? I don't know. Is not a fan of Twitter's new non-fungible token integration. In a tweet posted on Friday morning, Musk slammed Twitter, for spending engineering resources on integrating NFTs while not doing enough to curb spam activity. Okay, that's fine, great, but let's face it, Elon Musk is a troll. All right, he likes to basically, what's the best word for it? He likes to poke at people. He likes to poke things just to get things started. Have you ever been around someone who just wants to stir up that ant mound, just to mess things up, and then he likes that? Okay, this is the type of person that he is. And I'm only saying this because I don't know him, obviously. And this is what he portrays with the actions that he has. And just know that. Maybe it's not the best thing that they're doing, but the fact it's a good thing. They're trying to move towards being into this space, and why knock it? You don't need to. You could easily say something like, "Wow, that's great. I love that you guys are moving towards that, but let's take care of the spam stuff." All right, so don't care about that. Bitcoin network difficulty jumps more than 9% to new all-time high. And I'm going to tell you why this is a big deal. Okay, so if it's harder for a computer to figure out the algorithm, and the difficulty jumps by 9%, that means it has to work harder, it has to use more energy. And that's going to make, overall in the space, people want to innovate and say, okay, well, we need to make a faster chip. Like Intel, I haven't seen the headline here, but that came out too. Intel is making a specific chip so that the miners, the physical miners, don't have to be as energy, because it's proof of work, they don't have to use as much energy. Innovation is being created because of this entire space, and you have to take a step back and take a look at that. All right, I'm going to go through this really quick because I think we have gotten up through all this. Yeah, there's not anything else in here that I really wanted to go to, except for NFL players are showing DeFi Kingdoms. So DeFi Kingdoms is on Harmony One. It is a play to earn game, and it actually looks like something that I would want to play. I'm just not over on that chain, and frankly, I don't have enough time to play anyway. But I love the fact that high profile people are taking a look at what's happening in the space and endorsing it. I've got to love that. All right, so I'm going to go move on to you get to make a decision on what you're going to do right now. And I'm going to show you what I did. So yesterday, this net token was at $20. The Metis token, which I've been talking about for weeks, was at 185. And what I decided when I looked at this chart right here yesterday, when I saw it down here, and with the knowledge that I have about Crown and also Crypto Factor saying that down here is where it's most likely going to stop, I pretty much knew, and well, whatever. I had the intuition to say that, okay, Metis, which has been going so high, so fast, is going to tank. And if we take a look at over here on the charts, we can pull up and see exactly where it is right now. If we click over here on tokens, and this is pretty cool. Every market AMM automatic market maker has this. So you put tokens in the pool, and they know what the price is. All right, right now Metis is at 150, and I saw it down at 140. Okay, so it's down 29% since yesterday. But a few days ago it was at 300. I sold some because it looked like a high to me. I got no problems if it goes up higher. I took some profit. I suggest you guys do some too. If you're making profit, you got to take some out along the way. Find whatever works for you. I use the 50-20 rule. If it goes up 50%, I take out 20% of the entire holdings. And then you can make that smaller if you want. If it goes up 10%, then you can take out, what is that, 2%? 3%, I think it is. So you get to figure out what works for you. Anyway, moving on. What I decided to do was I sold it all at 185. And what I did was I waited for the market to come back down, and I saw it bounce up this morning from 34. Now, yeah, could it go down lower? Yeah, sure, okay. But this particular token is dropped by about 50%. So I thought to myself, okay, I like BNB. They're about to do a token burn. I think Net is a good token. It was the very first automatic market maker on Metis, and it's at almost its all-time low. And usually these will go up about 3-4x when the market's really good. So I said, okay, I'm going to take a good amount of money and I'm going to put half of it in BNB. I'm going to put half of it in Net, and then I'm getting 900% from that. Well, plus the 21 from just having the pool token in there. You get something from that as well, which is an awesome feature, by the way. So the more people trade, the more you make on that. This is always fluctuating. You can see right there, it just changed. All right. Anyway, the point is that you're still making 900% APR. Now, APY, it's APR. Okay. So, for example, I went ahead and I put, oh, I'm not connected here, whatever. Let's say that I put $2,000, 1,000 of BNB and 1,000 of Net. Okay. So that's $2,000. Oops. All right. And APR works like basically 100% is twice as much. So you add one here. So this is basically 10 times. And it's an easy way for you to think about it. So if I put $2,000 in and you multiply that times 10, this is how much it would make in a year. Now, this is constantly every few minutes as you see that number change. It's giving you the amount of token in the current form that it is, and the current amount that it is. All right, so at $2,000, if it stayed at that price for the entire year, you would make $20,000 in this net token. Now, if you made, as you go, it doubles, well, then you would make twice that. All right, but it's always varying, and you have to be on top of that. Anyway, so you have $20,000 per year divided by 365. 365 days, I'm making about $55 per day. And what I'm going to do on a daily basis is I'm going to take that $55, I'm going to claim it. If I would have my wallet connected, I would show you, but I'm not going to do that. I would claim it, and then I would go over to the swap function here, and I would take my net token, and then I'm going to swap it over into Metis. All right, so whatever amount of net token I have, I swap it out, and I'm dollar cost averaging back into the Metis that I sold. Now, if I see the market turning around and I'm hearing other people smarter than me saying, okay, I think this is where we turn around, and like I said, if 44,000 was that marker that someone told me. So if I see Bitcoin going above 44,000, yeah, you bet your ass I'm going to be going back into Metis with the money that I currently have in here. But until then, If it's a month away at $50 a day, that means that I'm going to be buying Metis along the way. And I think I said it was 150. Let's go back in there in the charts. Oh shoot, it's already over here. Sorry. Um, no, that's an old one. No way. I'm like 212. What? There, yeah, it's at 150. Okay, so at the current amount that I'm using at $50 a day, in 3 days I'm gonna buy one Metis, and for the month I would buy 10 Metis, and I will do that until I find out that the market is turning around, and um, I will just buy back in. But at the current time, I feel more comfortable having that money out and being able to do a more measured play than just leaving it and watching it go down, up, down, up, down. It's gonna drive me nuts. That's what I'm doing. You guys got to figure out what you want to do. Do you want a dollar cost average in from here? Do you want to wait and see what happens? Are you the person that's going to be just pissed off because everything's going up and you're not in it? Or are you just patient enough to say, okay, I'm going to wait. I'm going to listen to the right people. I'm going to wait until it looks like this market's going to turn around. And then I'll just go all in at that point. You've got to find what's comfortable for you. And no matter what, if you can't sleep at night, that means you got too much money in it anyway. All right. That means you have too much exposure and you're too worried about what's happening. That's not worth it. That's not the type of lifestyle that you want to live. Trust me, did that for a little bit. Not cool. It was fun, I gotta tell you. A little bit of fun, but not worth living. All right, guys, I'm gonna end on that note. If there's any questions you have, leave it below. And then also, if there's anything that you want to know about or you want me to go into, I'm happily willing to do that, because the more I do this channel, the more I learn. So I will see you guys on the next video. Take care.